Okay, it says I'm live. Hopefully this this setup works. I am going to do a couple of things to make sure that we are ready to go. No. First of all, okay. The stream's working, and that's confirmed. Hopefully the mic is coming in good. I specifically chose this room because I didn't want to have the glare problem I had last time, and it seemed to. Hold on. What is it with this laptop monitor and the? Okay, that's way too dark. I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to set it up the same way. Okay, one person apparently is here, so that's good. I'm just going to wait for others to join. Going to set everything up. Make sure that the link is working. You know what I'm going to do, actually? I'm going to go to my own Instagram. Copy. Paste. Okay, good. So it takes me to the same video. Okay, so apparently one person is watching. I don't know if you would care to identify yourself, or if I should just wait until more people join, because this really is a big deal. I should have hyped this up more. I don't know, but can we not do? Okay, that's probably about as good as we're gonna get. Can I? Not if I. Okay, hopefully I don't get glares that bad when I'm shooting the movie. Okay, this is just something I'm trying to... Should I be doing this in another room? Right now I'm just waiting for more people to join. Okay. Sorry if this is boring to the one person watching. I just need to make sure that the people are here. I'll add to my story. So, wait. I'm going to add to my story. Hey, just so you guys know, I am currently live. I am live streaming right now. So, and I'm going to be talking about the crowdfunding, which and incentives, which you're going to want to be here for that. So go to the link. Okay, so that's now added to my story. Sorry, I really do apologize for that. So you know what? There is one person here evidently, so I think so. I may as well just start and then see what happens. So this is basically the crowdfunding live stream, because crowdfunding. I mean, I've gotten some very generous donators, and I'm very grateful for that. But the position we're in right now is we need more. And I wish there was a less blunt way of saying that. There probably is. Yeah, I'll stay there. I'll stay there. So basically, the couple of things have been updated since the last live stream, and if you haven't been keeping up to date, I can say we have our Sean and our Daniel and our Cassidy and our Finn and our Karen. A lot of the other roles are still yet to be finalized, even though I do have people in ideals for them. And we are very, very, very busy trying to get this movie made. I'm trying to get this movie ready to be made. Because the position we're in right now is I said I wanted to shoot this movie in July. And the reason I said July was because I knew that kids usually go back to school around. Is anyone even listening to me? Am I just talking to myself? I really do apologize. I don't mean to come across as ungrateful or anything like that. The stress really is getting to me. This is the most stressful part because we have no idea how much is even possible to get done on this film. And we're really, really trying, but we need all the support we can get. I've never done a project anywhere near this ambitious. And so is anyone okay? People are liking the photo that says the live stream is starting. Is anybody going to join? When you're trying to do a live stream and there's nobody around, are you ever really there? Did you even make a sound? Okay, someone has to join soon. Someone apparently is joining, but they're not commenting. I don't want them to feel pressure to comment, but it would be nice to know that because here's the thing, I know if somebody is watching, then this must be incredibly boring for them. Is that just me, or I don't know if that maybe the one person I thought was here was just me. Okay, it says 2 people now, but I don't know if that's please. I'm just really, really stressed out. This whole process has been immensely difficult. And I've had a lot of discussions back and forth about the practicality of this. Should I just so what I was going to do, if anybody is watching, I was going to talk about the process I'm going, talk about where we're at right now, talk about the cast members that we have and how excited I am about them, talk about the incentives, and then what I was planning on doing was anybody who donates during the stream, I've seen live streams before where they're trying to raise a certain amount and they're like, when we hit this number, we'll share an announcement with you. And I was going to do something kind of similar, only I was going to show you. My original plan was to show you the auditions of the actors to give you a sneak peek about what you're in for in terms of the performances and the kind of actors that are going to take on these characters. Right now, if anyone, it says 2 people are watching. I just want to make sure that are 2 people actually watching? So I've sent out the link about the crowdfunding to so many different people, and right now I've gotten minimal response. I've gotten a lot of people saying that they're going to donate, but people the people who said they are going to donate, they like to take their time apparently. Um, and I understand that like money issues and is a big deal. I'm telling people if they can't afford to donate to share it. I completely understand if you can't afford. Um, and I do have like smaller incentives for just the $10 and the $25. Am I doing this right? Just the not the live stream and also just the movie. I want to be sure because at this point we've got really, really good actors and I don't want to let them down. I have to be confident. I have to be the one who knows that it's going to happen. Like I was saying earlier, I don't know if I'm going to have to repeat myself a lot depending on how many more people join after this. But basically, if you join the stream late, you can go back and rewind and see some of the earlier stuff I said. Basically, I wanted to shoot the film in July because I knew that most child actors start school in August, and I couldn't afford to take the kid out of school to do that. And it was only after I cast Jordan that I found out that Jordan actually starts school in September and theoretically has August free. But by the time I found that out, I had already made enough commitments in other places that we were going to do this in July. So the point we're at now, all the actors have been told about what the dates are, and Jordan and his family are coming from out of state, and Jordan's parents are being incredibly accommodating and incredibly nice about the whole situation. And at this point, it is too late to cancel or postpone this shoot. Like, no matter what happens, we're going to shoot something. We're going to shoot something. And a movie is going to be made. The question is, how good of a movie? Because if we don't get enough money, then I have no other choice but to make changes in the script. I have no choices but to rewrite a lot of the big moments in the movie. Am I talking to myself? I don't know what to do because when I'm talking, I don't know if I'm talking to myself or not. And when I look down to try and get more people, I worry that I'm being antisocial in case anybody is watching. Okay, I'm seeing people are liking the post that I made that says I'm going live. Maybe I should just make this an Instagram live. Maybe that would be easier. Again, I'm sorry. Someone's gonna find this. Let's be honest. I'm gonna find this video months from now and watch it again, and I'm gonna be cringing with how awkward it is. Hey, Elia Kintron. Congratulations. Thank you so much for joining. It means a lot. Please, anyone else in the List 2 fandom who might be interested in wolves, let them know that I'm live streaming now, and I'm going to be live streaming for a little while. I've been live streaming for about 15 minutes so far, and you're the first person to come on. So thank you so much for coming on. We're going to bring... so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the GoFundMe, and we're going to talk not GoFundMe, Indiegogo. And we're going to talk about the Indiegogo, and then we're going to talk in detail about crowdfunding and incentives. Just call me Ali. It's an easier nickname. Okay, Ali. Ali. I'm going to say Ali because it's 2 A's. So thank you so much, Ali, for joining. So this, okay, my goal is what my goal was going to be is if anybody donates during the stream, if anybody donates anything at all during the live stream, I will then show you clips of the actors' auditions to let you know the auditions that got them the parts, so that you will get a sneak preview at the acting you're going to see in the film. But you know what? I'm actually going to start by talking about the GoFundMe itself. No, actually, I'll just pull it up here. So okay, so this is my first time in charge of doing something like this. I spent a lot of time working on this. It wants me to. Okay, there we go. View campaign. So here we go. I'm going to be talking through the GoFundMe. So okay, so we have several incentives to donate. And I spent a long time working on this. So okay, incentive number 1 is called Wolf Cub. For $10, you will receive early access to the film's official trailer. Meaning that when the trailer is completed, you will get it like, let's say about 2 weeks before before it's published online. You'll see the trailer early. Okay, moving on to $25, Silver Runner. You will receive access to an early release scene from the film, plus the trailer. So I already know what scene it's going to be, and you're going to get to see that scene early. I don't know if I'm going to release a scene from the movie early for everyone to see, and then an additional bonus scene for just the donors. But I think I know what scene I want to be the first glimpse of the movie. So moving on from there, we have yeah, I know this film is gonna rock. Well, I hope it will. I hope it will. So for $50, Super Wolf. So you will receive a printable copy of either a 2022 calendar or a copy of the script, plus all previous incentives. So both of these things are going to be printable. The calendar is going to have images from the movie and sort of a list to style sketchiness about it. So it's going to be handmade or Photoshop made by myself. Or if you want the copy of the script, then you'll get to see what we use to work with. And it's entirely possible that the script will have access to certain stuff that didn't make it in the finished film based on however the shoot goes. Plus all previous incentives. So anything is plus previous incentives. If you go for $50, if you go for the Super Wolf tier, then we will give you that, the calendar or script, plus the early access to the scene and early access to the trailer. Okay, so for $100, so this is the big one, $100, and this is the one I think a lot of people are really excited about. In a wild, wild world, you will be made a member of a virtual test audience, shown an early cut of the film, and then asked to give feedback, plus all previous incentives. So what this means is that anywhere from a month to 2 months before the movie's official release, after we filmed it and everything, we will send you a private link. And I don't know if it's going to be like via Zoom where everyone's going to watch it together, but we'll send you a private link to the film, and it will be an unfinished version of the film. The special effects and color grading and audio and stuff, it'll be unfinished. And you'll have to keep that in mind. But we're going to ask you to give feedback about if certain things work or not. And this does mean you get to see the film early. And based on your feedback, you'll actually help improve the finished product. It also means that you're going to have to keep your mouth shut about spoilers, because there are certain things in the movie that are different from the game, and we ideally want that stuff to stay secret from the larger fan base, but you would get to see it early and help give feedback. So after that is $500. I did think about having a tier in the middle for $250, but ultimately decided against it. But if you really, really want to help, and we really, really, really appreciate it, $500, one of the pack. You will be listed in the film's end credits as a producer, and you'll receive an IMDb credit, plus all previous incentives. So that's a pretty big deal. You're listed, produced by blah, blah, blah. It's going to be in the end credits. And I will say, you're going to be on IMDb. The tricky thing is that I tried for a really long time to get this movie on IMDb, because with both of my previous films, Captain Spirit and Being Carter, I was able to get them on IMDb. And it looks like at some point in the past year, IMDb changed their rules for what they allow in terms of smaller, no-budget projects. And basically, I think I'm truly, truly hoping, because we have actors in here that have previous film roles and were in IMDb, and I was previously on IMDb, but it says it's really, really hard to get this kind of project an IMDb page before it's done. So what I'm hoping is after it's done, we'll be able to show it places, and we can confirm IMDb this is a real movie and that the actors want this on their resume. So I'll try to get it on IMDb. I really, really, really want it to be on IMDb. It's really important to me that we do it, but it looks like based on the new rules that IMDb has in place, we can't actually put it on there until the movie is done. But okay, honestly, I would know I'm gonna cry. I cried during the game. I'm gonna cry when the film comes out. That's my goal. If we can get people to cry, then we know we've done our job right. And then the absolute biggest of the big tiers, $1,000. Not a kid anymore. I like the names. For $1,000, you will receive an executive producer credit. Your name will be in the opening credits before the title, as well as on the poster, plus all previous incentives. So that means, like, not only are you getting on IMDb, but like when we print out the poster, it's gonna say your name. It's gonna say your name on this poster. When we make the movie, but it's gonna say like directed by Connor Olin, produced by you. Wolves, a fan-made Life is Strange 2 story, starring Eddie Lopez, Jordan Pendleton. You're like, this is a really, really big deal. And that's why it's not cheap. But if just one person donates $1,000, that is a huge deal, to say nothing of if multiple people donate. I want to acknowledge the goal. So we have a goal currently listed as $7,500, which I know is a lot. And I was debating this. I wanted to list the goal as $5,000. With that being said, we think that the movie's going to cost more than $5,000. And my dad was like, if you really think the fans are going to donate, are going to come out in big numbers for this, then go all the way. And I was like, okay, I really believe the fans love this. So don't feel bad if we don't make it to $5,000. I think it's certainly possible we can get other money from elsewhere, but I feel like we should make it to at least 5,000, which right now is a tall order, but I really, really need as many people to donate as possible. Even the people that don't donate in the big numbers, if we get a lot of people to donate in small amounts, that really helps. That really helps. Ooh, someone else. Since the movie from Captain Spirit, I believe in you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I am. Captain Spirit was a big deal, but it wasn't nearly as big as this. This whole live stream is really more of a group therapy session than anything else because I am freaking out about so many of the logistics. And the more money we have, the better. I understand, of course, that not everyone is in a great financial situation right now, but any little bit helps. I am truly, truly grateful for anything, even if it's just $10. Thank you so much. Anything that you can do gets me one step closer to making this film a reality. So with that said, I am now going to talk about the cast. I'm going to talk about the cast that we've assembled, and I have seen the table read, so I am really, really excited about this cast. And I want to emphasize, if anybody who's watching the stream decides to donate in any capacity, I will reward that donation by showing a clip of the actors' auditions. So you are going to get a special sneak preview of our cast if and only if you donate. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's talk about, first and foremost, I want to talk about our Karen Reynolds, who is Jennifer Appelquist. So Jennifer Appelquist, spelled Appelquist, she, so basically, she was one of two actors that I was looking at really closely for Karen. And the other actress, I won't say her name, but she was very good. And it was a difficult choice, but I ultimately went with Jennifer, and I do believe I made the right choice after seeing her in the read. What I like about her, she's a local actress. She lives in Tennessee. Doesn't have a very pronounced accent, but it is very nice and very enthusiastic about the story. But she plays the part. This is a difficult character to play because Karen is someone who she knows that she hurt them and she feels bad about it, but she wouldn't do it differently. And she is kind of flighty, I guess you would say. You're not entirely sure how you're supposed to feel about her character, as is Sean. And what I like about Jennifer Appelquist's portrayal that I saw in the read-through is that she seems a little bit, not fully, but there is a tiny part of her that reminds you of the more archetypical Karen, which is great that they chose that name. And so you start to believe, like, how much is she in over her head? How much is she entitled? You know that she believes what she's saying, but how much of it really does someone who does try to do the right thing in this story, but I think you're still, no, I'll read that in a sec. I think you're still very much rooting for her and still very much drawn into her, but you still don't get all the answers. When you watch her, you're like, I think I like you, but I'm not sure. And I think that's the attitude that you need to have about Karen. So really, really excited about Jennifer playing Karen. Don't feel bad about some of the cuts you made, considering how long the game is. It'd be nearly impossible to add everything in the movie. I know you're going to rock it. You're creative. So I don't know if you've seen the other live stream, but I basically said in depth that I cut the Haven Point subplot with the church because I thought it kind of jumped the shark a little bit in terms of plausibility. And I thought the story moved along smoother without it. There's also certain characters that I cut, like Brody and Ingrid and Anders. And honestly, the position I'm in right now is really interesting because even though I'm really proud of the script, I also acknowledge that the script is largely impractical and that some of the plot devices may have to be cut around or just suggested rather than outright shown. And I'm going to do some serious work this week to write alternate versions of a lot of the scenes just in case we can't do them. I'll say this. One of the scenes that's giving us the biggest headaches is actually the very beginning of the movie with Esteban's death. Um, I was very insistent that I didn't want to cut around Esteban's death, that I wanted to show it in its entirety because it's a really important thing to show, because it's really timely, and I wanted to put the audience in that moment. Yeah, I very much agree with the cult stuff, but it's a very difficult thing to film and to block and rehearse. Also, in the game, that scene where with Esteban's death takes place out on the Diaz brothers' front lawn, right outside their house. And it was a decision that I made very early on in the script writing process that I wanted that scene to occur in a more public location. And so that was how I wrote the script. And I honestly was very proud of it, and I thought it really worked. But the challenge that has been brought up to me is that you can't film a scene like this in a public location and not have people see it and get the wrong idea. Uh, because we have an actor dressed as a police officer brandishing a gun, and it's a very difficult thing to film right. And so now we're talking about either moving that scene back to the front lawn of the Diaz house, or showing it in cuts, or not showing the full thing, or even shooting the whole thing on a green screen and adding it to the location later. Uh, so there's a lot of, but those are just some of the discussions that we're having. There's also discussions about the scene in the gas station with Hank Stamper, how that's an important scene that I want to be in there, but at the same time, it's difficult to figure out where to do stuff in a gas station. And also, if you know the story, there's a certain point where Sean ends up in a hospital, and they don't let you shoot in hospitals. And so I need to find a building that we can substitute for a hospital. But that's just scratching the surface. There's some stuff I don't even want to get into right now because it deals with spoilers, but it is a big, big deal. So, okay, I'm gonna, yeah. So if at any point, I'm just gonna say this one more time, if at any point you want to donate, the floor is open. Actually, you know what? Here's what I'll do. I'm going to post the link to the Indiegogo. Just so it's there. Okay, so if you go to that link, it will take you to where the GoFundMe, the Indiegogo, sorry, it's happened. I found out there is a difference, by the way. GoFundMe is more about things where you have to reach a specific number for, like, my uncle needs surgery and we need to get money for that. Whereas Indiegogo is for projects like this, where there's not somebody's life in the balance. But it's still important to get as much money as you need. So, okay, with that being said, I want to talk about another cast member who is in the film, and that is Erica Knight as Cassidy. So Erica, I discovered pretty early on. She actually sent me a lengthy submission letter talking about why she loved the game and why she was really excited about the potential of being in this project, and why she liked the character, and also stuff about where she lived and the practicality of it. She had the whole thing figured out, which really blew me away, and she gave a great audition. And I was hesitant to cast her a little bit because she was younger than I had envisioned the character being. But once I got to see her in action and I got to hear her sing, she sings and she plays guitar, I realized she is a really, really good fit for Cassidy. And Cassidy, I've seen a lot of people complain about her character that she is something of a manic pixie dream girl, and she feels not like a real person and more like a muse, more like a girlfriend. And so I think what Erica does with this character is really, really interesting because she doesn't seem fake. She seems really authentic. And I think you really do feel for her character in this version. When she did the read through, you do sympathize with this character and what she's been through. And without giving anything away, in the film, Cassidy does play a more direct role in the Diaz brothers story than she did in the game. Uh, I'm not going to say anything more specific than that, but I think you guys are really going to like it, and I think you guys are really going to like what Erica does in this film. So, and I can show you her audition as well. So she's very, very good, and she's gonna. I actually don't know if we're gonna be able to get the rights to "I Found a Way." I would like to get the rights to "I Found the Way" to have her sing that in the film, but in case we don't, Erica apparently is prepared to sing something original. So I don't want to get your hopes up about anything, but Erica is very, very talented, and I'm really, really excited to be working with her. Okay, so just gonna check this real quick. Oh wait, 235. Somebody donated? Hold on, I need to check my thing. Somebody, we just got $10 from somebody. Okay, who? Does it say who donated? I'm not seeing right away. But thank you. If it's someone here, make yourself known. Somebody just donated $10. Okay, maybe it wasn't someone who was involved watching the stream at all, but either way, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm gonna get your name in a second, but first I'm going to get this. Okay, I'm gonna set this up. So this is gonna display Jennifer Applequist's audition for Karen. Hi. Hello, Lenken14. Were you the one who donated? If so, thank you. Thank you very much. We're gonna get everything ready now. Unfortunately, I was trying to see if there was a way to directly put the auditions on the computer, and I don't think that there is. I don't think it's that easy. So I'm just going to okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get okay, here we go. So this is Jennifer's audition for the role of Karen Reynolds.
I'm Jennifer Applequist, and I'm auditioning for the role of Karen in Wolves. I was never really very good at making plans, which is what modern day life is all about, right? School, job, marriage. You remember my mother, right? She had this idea of the kind of girl her daughter should be. I tried to be that. But it just seemed like this sweet, golden jail to me. And I found my place in this world with like minded people and I'm at peace. My fuck ups and decisions. Or at least I was. Until I heard about Esteban. I should have done something. I know. I guess I was scared. Scared to face you after all these years. For what it's worth. I'm so sorry for hurting you and Daniel. And Esteban.
Okay, so that was Jennifer Applequist's audition for the role of Karen Reynolds. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And if you stick around and continue to donate, then I will be showing more auditions from the cast who will be joining us. Really, really excited about Jennifer. As you can see, she's a great actress, and I really like what she's doing with this character. So, can I get? Okay, that's a good place to be in. Okay, I loved it. Low-key was kind of about to cry. Yeah, I have been, not to toot my own horn so much, but I have been told I have a talent in casting, and I really do think that the actors that are going to be playing these characters are really, really good. And so, yeah, if you want to see more actors, if you want to see more auditions, I will be displaying them as soon as I get some more donations. Thank you very, very much for the $10. I still don't know who that was, but whoever it was, thank you. Okay, so next I want to talk about Trace Haynes, who is going to be playing Finn. This guy, the funny thing was, he initially auditioned for the role of Brett, and I decided pretty late in the, actually as soon as he sent in his audition, he had a demo reel of a short film he had done, and I'm looking at this going, he's Finn. He's a really good Finn. I don't know what he's doing auditioning for Brett. I asked him to read for Finn, and he reads the monologue perfectly. He was the first role that was cast in the film. And I know I announced him and Erica as Cassidy around the same time, but he really, he was first. He has a lot. If you go back to the initial live stream, I said there is one actor that we have already, basically, and that actor was Trace. Trace, there's something about him. He's just effortlessly charming. I will admit, when I was playing the game, there was a part of me that was thinking, is this guy really, like, I knew that this was the fan favorite character, and I kind of didn't see it. I kind of didn't understand what the big fuss was about. And even as I was like writing the character in the script, I was like, is this good? Does this character work? because I was kind of combining him with elements of other characters to give him a bit of a larger role, and which I was mainly doing for story purposes because it's easier to have less characters going around. But Trace Haynes, he is just effortlessly charming, effortlessly likable, even when he's not doing the best things. And for the record, he is the kind of guy that would make another guy realize he's bisexual. Like he's that kind of look. So I was picturing him, he looks charming, like he's oozing fin charm. I did a picture of him. I did like a Photoshop of him with the triangles and the thing. Actually getting the hair and the wig is going to be tricky, but he yeah, like he does. He oozes fin charm, and if we get to show his audition, you'll see he's perfect, and I'm so excited to be working with him in this role. Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna check real quick. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, I'm feeling kind of parched because I've been talking for a long time. I'm gonna get up, get a drink of water, see if anyone else donates, and then I'm gonna start talking about our two leads, Eddie and Jordan, and I'm so stoked to talk about that. So I will be right back. Okay, coming in now. So I can see now that $10 came from Julie Cornett, which I think that's actually one of my mom's friends. So it was a total coincidence that it came up. But thank you so much, Julie. Okay, and I want to say for the 4 of you watching, thank you very much. If any of you donates even just $10 to this film, I will show the next clip, and which is going to be Erica's audition for Cassidy. And okay, one of you left just now. One of you does not like spending money, but if you don't want to donate, can you at least please share the link around? I will be very grateful for that. Okay, so the time has come to talk about our two leads, and I'm going to start with Jordan. So I was looking for a long time for both leads, but Jordan in particular so Daniel in particular was challenging because this is a really tricky role for a child actor. And I think with Roman George, he was like 12 when he started and 14 when he finished. And you can tell by the end, his voice got a lot deeper. And the character is meant to be 9. And like I said in the thing, from 6 to 12, and we're not going to go that young. He's probably going to be a couple years too old. But I really did look for the right kid. There was one kid I had my eye on for a while that was like a professional child actor. And I reached out to his dad, and his dad was like, "You'd have to ask his agent about that." And I'm like, "Oh, that's not going to happen." But then as I was searching, I started looking around for any kids in any kids on backstage.com who can at least pass as Hispanic. And I started looking around the whole country because I was getting desperate. I'm like, these kids, they're probably not gonna come all the way there. Jordan caught my eye early on. I'm not gonna say early on, but as I was going through the list, and like, okay, this kid, I saw Jordan, and my first impression was he didn't look the most like Daniel, but he had a good monologue that he had recorded for something else. He had two. He had a comedic monologue about why are there no dinosaurs in the Garden of Eden, and then he had a more dramatic monologue about where he had gotten bullied because of the color of his skin. So I said, okay, I think I invited him to audition as I invited so many to audition, and with so many kids, I never heard back from them. But Jordan, he and his parents were very interested in the role, and they asked if it was okay. Their concern was his hair, that it was very difficult to make his hair straight. It's naturally curly, and I said it would be okay if we had to use a wig. I saw his audition, and for Daniel, I asked the kids to specifically record two auditions. One at the beginning, where Daniel is like just explaining how his power works to Sean, and then one later on when he's angry and upset at Sean. And I asked Jordan to, I asked the Daniels to read those two monologues. Jordan, his first monologue was amazing because already I felt that Daniel charm and that Daniel innocence. And he felt like a real kid that is fun to be around, not like a kid just reading off the stuff. He had a lot of personality to him, and he felt like Daniel. And then when we got to the second monologue, I was in shock by what he was doing because he doesn't play the role as terribly dark, but he plays it as like a kid that's heartbroken and really upset. You buy that he's upset, but you really do feel for him. And it was something that I did when I was writing the script because I sympathize with Daniel very much. And with Jordan's take on it, he makes the role even more sympathetic. So I think the people who see this movie are really going to fall in love with Jordan as Daniel. My one concern with casting him is I wasn't sure about his ethnicity. I said early on that I was very insistent about casting actors that were actually Hispanic. And then at a certain point, I was like, okay, who can at least pass as Hispanic? And with Jordan, I genuinely wasn't sure. And first of all, I brought that up to him the first time we talked face to face, and I said, what would you say? I'm not sure how to say this in front of a little kid. I said, what would you say is your ethnicity? And he said, golden. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, you've got this part. But then I found out he's actually half black, half Korean. And his mother chimed in saying that people tell him that he looks more Hispanic than anything else. And I think with the hair, it's gonna look right, and I think his skin tone matches that of our Sean really closely. I will say, so he did the read through, and I want to emphasize he is only 9 years old, which blows me away that he has this talent. Thank you very much. He has this much talent for being only that age. He shines. He takes these lines of dialogue that were written years ago for the game, and then some lines of dialogue that I wrote myself, and he makes them sound so natural, like something that a kid would say right off the cuff. And he does a great job at feeling like a likable kid. He's not playing it as a superhero. He's playing it as a real kid, which is the big thing I wanted. And as we start to get to the section of the story when he is becoming bitter and angry with Sean, he was getting that out really effectively, but in a way where you still really, really sympathize with his character because he's just a kid and he's been dealt a really hard deal. And It's really good. I will say when we were doing the read through, we went pretty late. It was going late in the night, past his bedtime. And so he was doing a great job. And at a certain point, when we got to the last act, you could tell he was getting really tired and not putting all of his energy into it. And I think that's totally understandable. I think we have limited hours to work with a little kid. I do remember at the end of the read through, I said to the cast, "Is the script too long?" And I'll never forget, Jordan was like, but I love him as Daniel because he has the personality of Daniel. And even though he's not technically Hispanic, I would like to remind you that Roman George in the game was not technically Hispanic. Roman George is Caucasian. And we do have an actual Hispanic Sean and Esteban, like the game. And yet Jordan is just so good. And his parents have been so accommodating because they don't live in Tennessee, but they are totally prepared to come out here, get in an Airbnb with their own money, and they're like, "Don't worry about us. Like, spend the money somewhere else." So he and his family are gonna spend. They're gonna spend 3 weeks in Tennessee for this silly little project that hopefully puts him on the map and makes him a serious actor. Also, by the way, he hasn't really acted in anything. He hasn't done any movies or TV or plays even. He said he did one commercial and that was it. And yet he is such a watchable presence. I just cannot wait for the rest of the world to discover him. It's the same way I felt about Ashton when I cast him in Captain Spirit. He is just such a likable, funny, charming kid that can really act. And it is, I can't believe I found someone that talented for Daniel. So just, I said that, I said all that. I'm just going to check this now. Okay. Okay. So thank you very much. I cannot wait for you to see him in action. And that leads me to our final actor in the film. Not final actor in the film, but final of the 5 I'm going to be talking about today. And that is Eddie Lopez as Sean Diaz. So Eddie Lopez, when I was looking for Hispanic actors in the area, he was one of the first people I saw for Sean. He was one of the first on Backstage.com. Eddie Lopez was one of the first people to pop up. And he's 19 years old. He just had his first year of college this past year with the pandemic. And the first things I saw from him were he did a lot of comedic stuff. And I'm like, okay, this is very talented. I'm not sure. He's very talented, but I'm not sure if I see Sean yet. And then I did ask him to come in, but didn't get a response right away. And as the audition process was coming on, I checked his page again and I saw he had a new thing where he had posted himself reading a dramatic monologue that was partially in Spanish. And immediately I saw Sean Diaz. I was so like, oh my God, he's Sean. And then I asked for him directly, hey, can you please audition for this thing? I think you would be amazing. And he initially turned me down because he had a scheduling conflict. And I said, okay, that sucks. And so some time went by. And then I was really looking for a Sean too at this point. And I realized eventually he got back to me and said that his scheduling changed. So he was now going to be available to do it and that he was going to send in a monologue. He sends in, so like Daniel, I had Sean read 2 monologues. One is him deciding to go to Puerto Lobos, and one is him telling Daniel that that what they have to do is work at this farm. So I was worried, are they too similar, or am I not going to see Sean immediately? And he releases these monologues, and I've watched them so many times. I'm almost in shock of how perfect he is for this character. He just is. First of all, his voice sounds so eerily similar to Gonzalo Martin, and the way he says certain words like enano and Puerto Lobos, it's exact. And the way he goes into Spanish, there's moments in the film, in the script, when Sean goes into Spanish, and Eddie is a natural Spanish speaker. He's very I can't even. So he did his read through the day before we announced that he was cast. Was the day of the read through, and a lot of, if not just Eddie, a lot of the actors, as it went on, were getting tired, and we were doing this like for 3 consecutive hours, and we're kind of going through the motions at the end. But Eddie repeatedly was amazing. From his first scene to his last, he understands this character so well. And you really do. He's so watchable. And I was worried when I was writing the script that I was putting too much emphasis on Sean's flaws as a character. But Eddie made the character not only feel really, really human, but also really admirable. And the moments in the story when Sean is making the right choices and when Sean is being heroic, you see that too. You see the character from the game. Even though, again, like Jordan, he doesn't look the most like the character, but he has the soul of the character. I think the moment when he was doing a great job the whole script, but when we got to the point when he has the scene opposite Karen and his reaction to seeing Karen for the first time in years, just a read through. I told him at the beginning he said to me, hey, so how big do you want me to go? And I was like, it's a read through. You don't have to worry about going for it all. Like, you don't have to give it your best. And he was like, okay. What he gave, if that wasn't his best, then his best is Oscar worthy. And I talked to him afterwards about the character, and he just understands it so well. He said the fun thing about him is that even though he's 19 years old, he's also married, and he's very public about that on social media. And I asked him, like, apparently he just got married like as soon as he could, and was dating his girlfriend long distance over the pandemic. And he's like, people said that, like, oh, you're too young, you've got your whole life ahead of you. But I was like, I'd rather spend that time with my best friend. So that's amazing. Eddie is just, the whole time I was talking to him, I was like waiting for him to say something like, I'm not sure how I'm going to play this. This is a tough character. I wanted to like talk him through this thing. He understands it. This is a difficult role. This is the role that Gonzalo Martin won a BAFTA for. And I don't want to say it comes easy to him, because I don't think it does, but he is so fully committed to making this work. And he is such a nice guy. And I sent, after the read-through was the first time that Eddie and Jordan met. And I sent them each other's contact information and said, get in touch if you want. I'd like for the two of you to feel comfortable with each other after you talk. So sometime later, I talked to Eddie and I say, hey, by chance, did you ever reach out to Jordan? And he was like, not only did I reach out to Jordan, and we talked it through and we had a lot of fun together via Zoom, obviously, but they actually scheduled a Zoom meeting once every week. So literally, Sean and Daniel are independently deciding to spend this time together to be as comfortable with each other as they can, which is unbelievable. I did not ask them to do that, but they are so. both Eddie and Jordan have the souls of the characters in them, and I I cannot wait for you to see their performances because I don't think we're gonna have the best budget. I mean, I'm trying to raise as much money as I can, but I don't know what we're gonna be able to do. And in the event that we need to cut out some stuff and have certain big scenes take place off screen, um, and I'm gonna brainstorm some ideas about what are the best ways to avoid showing big stuff that still works well for the story. But either way, no matter what happens, we have two incredible actors in the lead roles, and you're going to want to follow these characters. And which is not to short shift Trace, Erica, and Jennifer because they're also amazing. And some of the other actors that we have too, particularly Jorge Ortero as Esteban. I saw his audition. He was one of the few people that also auditioned with a monologue, and I was like, oh man, can you be in the I wanted the whole movie to be about Esteban because he's so good and so watchable. But then I'm like, well, that's kind of the point. You're supposed to feel bad that you don't get to spend more time with Esteban. And now I'm trying to decide if you're going to spend even less time with Esteban because I don't know what's going to happen. It's it's really tricky. But I can confirm, if nothing else, we have a great cast, which and we also have access to some really good locations, as I showed on my Instagram. We also have access to some really great music, um, and great equipment. That is not the thing we need money for. My parents have some experience in the industry, and they've allowed me to use some really great equipment. So that is not the problem. The problem is the crew. The problem is this is going to be a 3-week shoot, and it's unrealistic to ask the crew, what minimal crew there is, to work this long for no money. And so we want to offer to pay them something. And that is where a lot of the problems, that's where we're going to have problems. We're going to have to pay people. I really tried to reach out to anybody who was like, hey, you want to do this just for fun? And they're like, oh, 3 weeks, that is not fun. So, excuse me. Okay, so no donators yet. And I hate that I keep harping on this, but I have to keep saying it. Anybody who wants to donate is highly encouraged to do so. Even just $10 is greatly appreciated, and I will. The link is in the link. You'll find the link in the chat. Okay. Thank you so much. That really means a lot. So. And by the way, anybody who's stumbling across this stream later after the fact and is like, "Ooh, I wanna donate," please do. We accept donations at all times. I don't know how long the thing is going to be open, but if you want to give us, sorry. I think that no matter what happens, we're going to make a movie. But if we don't get a lot of money, then it's going to be a movie where we cut around a lot of the big scenes, and you're going to be able to tell that it's really cheap. And so I want to show the big scenes because Eddie and Jordan are great, and I feel like they are going to do a lot of the heavy lifting. But I also want them to feel supported. I don't want it to feel like they are carrying this entire movie on their shoulders. Okay. Is there something else? These are new glasses, by the way. I just got them yesterday. I we start shooting this thing in less than a month, and I I think we're gonna, as I said earlier, there's we're gonna shoot something, and I like it if we know what we're gonna shoot, and I mean, obviously, I know I have the schedule, and I've talked the actors through the schedule, and it works for them. Eddie's there every single day. Jordan is just absent from one day, and I think we have like 5 to 6 days where Erica, Trace, and so Jennifer, sorry, respectively. And the other thing I want to say too is that obviously there's still kind of a pandemic going on. I mean, I'm fully vaccinated. I not everybody is. We are in Tennessee, which is one of the worst states for vaccinations. And without naming any names specifically, I cannot. Who's not vaccinated at this point does not have a lot of time in advance to get vaccinated, and so we're really, really trying to make it comfortable. Also, because our Jordan is 9 and is too young to get it, and so his parents are concerned. I think we can have the crew wear masks or have the cast wear masks when they're not shooting, and we can do temperature checks. But again, there's only so much we can do. And I really, really want to create a safe environment for everybody on set. But it's another concern. My parents, who are involved in the industry, and for the longest time, I was like, I don't need your help. I can do this on my own. I don't want to do this on your shoulders. And then eventually they started approaching me with ideas and were like, okay, I guess I do need your help. They're very, very grateful. I'm very, very grateful for their help. But at the same time, they're also trying to buy a house as all this is going on. So it's double stressful for them. It's a lot. It's a lot. And the location that I took pictures of the other day that I posted on social media and were like, this is such a great Life is Strange location. Shortly after we left, we found out that we had ticks, and then that was a big scare for us. But ultimately, we think we're going to be okay, but we have to make sure the actors and crew know to have the tick spray and the bug spray to make sure that they keep bugs away from them on set. So it might smell a little bit funny, but in hindsight, it's kind of amazing that Sean and Daniel didn't get ticks. Let's be honest. Okay, I'm gonna check one more time because at this point we've been streaming for an hour and 15 minutes. Okay, I don't know how much longer we can afford to go. I can try to go for an hour and a half, but I need to emphasize. I'm sorry if I'm coming across as desperate, but the whole purpose of this stream is to get people to donate. So anybody, just gonna throw this out again, and I'm gonna show clips of these actors auditions, and I'm really, really looking forward for you to see them. I will say I found out that, I don't know how many of you saw this, but I posted something earlier about how I had found an actor for the role of Steven. And then literally just before I went on, I found out that something came up for him and he can't do the movie. So that's, I mean, this sort of stuff happens a lot, but it's hard. And that's a big thing that we're going to be doing in this upcoming week, finalizing 2 things, finalizing all the supporting roles and finalizing the locations. and three things, and looking at the script to see if there's any way I can cut down on the bigger set pieces. Like, there's stuff I really don't want to cut. I am proud of this script. I am. But it's tough. And there's some stuff that I know we're going to be able to have in the movie that I wasn't sure we were going to be able to have, which makes me really excited. And there's certain stuff that I can't say because this is an epic story, and I don't want it to feel like we're doing it cheap. But I really want to do you guys proud. I know that the List 2 fan community is going strong, and it's weird because we got the announcement of the Life is Strange remastered versions of the first game and Before the Storm, and we got the announcement of the True Colors, which looks really good. And then it came out recently that Life is Strange comics was going to be having a cameo by the Alex Chen from True Colors. And a lot of people are really feeling left out. People who are in the Life is Strange 2 fan base, that like it feels like you're forgetting Sean and Daniel. And I don't want to feel like this is why I'm doing this, for these characters that mean so much to so many different people. I really want to do their story justice. And I want to emphasize, I did not want to cast just anybody as Sean and Daniel Diaz. These two people, I know they're fictional, but they mean a lot to me. And so finding Eddie and Jordan was a small miracle. And I'm so, so, so grateful that you're going to get to see what they have to bring to this table. But how the rest of the movie comes out, I don't know. We're going to make something. How good it is going to depend on the money we get. It's as simple as that. So I'm just going to check one more time. So here's the thing. I'm tempted to just end the stream here. Sean and Daniel made an impact on me. I'm excited to see the actors in action. Haha. I'm tempted to either end the stream here without showing you any more of the auditions, or to just show you the auditions anyway. But that would defeat the purpose for anyone who has yet to donate. So I'll tell you what. One more person donates, I will show you both Erica's audition for Cassidy and Trace's audition for Finn. That seems fair. That seems fair. And I just want to run over again what the incentives are. So Wolf, $10, Wolf Cub will receive early access to the film's official trailer. $25, Silver Runner will receive access to an early release scene from the film, plus the trailer. $50, Super Wolf. You'll receive a printable copy of either a 2022 calendar or a copy of the script, plus all previous incentives. $100, In a Wild, Wild World. You'll be made a member of a virtual test audience, shown an early cut of the film, and then asked to give feedback, plus all previous incentives. $500, One of the Pack. You'll be listed in the film's end credits as a producer. You'll receive an IMDb credit, plus all previous incentives. For $1,000, Not a Kid Anymore, you will receive an executive producer credit. Your name will be in the opening credits before the title as well as on the poster, plus all previous incentives. So in hindsight, I thought that the idea for the stream was a good idea, that anybody who donates sees the auditions. I think that's a good reward to show people. Hey, I am curious. So Alaya and Lincoln, or whoever the next person is, like, how much longer can you stay on? That's the real question, because I can go anytime. I can do this for another hour. I don't need to be anywhere. Well, that's a lie. I need to be working on the movie. But this right now is technically working on the movie, because it's getting money to come in, hopefully. So there's only so long I can go before the battery in my computer goes out, though. So okay. I've been going for an hour and 20 minutes. If nobody donates in the next 10 minutes, then I'm ending the stream. Oh, I don't know if you saw this, but one actor who I've cast already is Decorian Gold as Penny, and he's someone who was excited about the game and was very, and when I brought it up was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to do this. So can I get a good picture of him? Yeah, I don't think you can really see that on this stream. Okay, there's Decorian Gold, who is going to be playing Penny in the movie. And one other thing, because we need to cast so many actors, and I've had someone in mind for Hannah for a long time, but I'm not sure how her schedule is going to work out, and I need to get back to her. Yay! 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 That is Penny. I've had someone in mind for Hannah for a while, and I don't know if we're going to be able to get her. But regarding the other Trimmigrant, Jacob, I've had a few people that I'm seeing for that part, but honestly, there is a part of me, and I just want to run this by you. I'm not 100% on this decision yet, but I am kind of wondering if to save on hiring another person, if I should play Jacob. And very first thing I want to say is that Jacob has a much smaller part in the movie. The whole Haven Point thing does not happen. So Jacob is just another guy that is with the Trimmigrants, and he gets a couple of lines. It's not a big part at all. But it was something that I was thinking about, and because that's why I've been kind of growing the facial hair out and growing the hair out. Hey, I'm Jacob. But I don't know if that would work, and I don't know if I'm being a little bit too narcissistic by wanting to cast myself in my own project. So I am kind of bringing anyone. I think I may or may not give my parents some cameo in the project. I think my uncle might be Big Joe. It's really hard, but we're trying to find as many actors as we can who are going to work. The good thing is, outside of the main 5 roles that have already been cast, Sean, Daniel, Cassidy, Finn, Karen. Oh, that's good. That's some good thing. But outside of those 5 main roles, everyone else in the film only works for 1 or 2 days, which is really nice. We only have the Reynolds for 2 days. You only have Hannah, Penny, Jacob for 2 days. I think Lila's tough because a lot of her stuff is over the phone, but yeah, I don't. And a lot of the other parts are just 1 day. Like Esteban's 1 day. Hank is 1 day. Brett is 1 day. A lot of the racist encounters are 1 day. It's funny because when we read the script, we had the 5 actors reading, and I read everyone else. And I think I did a pretty good job, but the bits where I was the most invested were the bits where none of those other characters were in the story, and I was just watching the 5 actors do their characters and work it out, because they are all so good. Okay, just gonna check again. I really do apologize if it feels like I'm guilt tripping. That is not my intention at all, because there's not that many people that are watching. Yeah, a lot of people are sharing this online, sharing the link, and a lot of people are saying, hey, I'm gonna donate, but not everyone is. And apparently a lot of people like to leave this sort of thing for the last minute. I talked with my mom about that. She recently launched something she was working on that no one joined at the beginning, and then people joined at the end. So this is open for not a very brief window of time, and which was what they told me. Open it for a very brief window of time to give people more incentive to donate faster. But we're about half. We don't have a lot of time left, and we've amassed very little money. So I'm going to get myself more water, and I'll be right back. Oh, understandable. Totally understandable if you're a little bit broke. If you want to share this online, if you can't donate, if you can't afford to donate, I understand. Just please share this online. Is there any chance that someone else is going to come in at the last minute and donate? Because I would love to show you these auditions. There's some really great auditions by our cast. It says 2 people are watching. Who's the other guy? Okay. At a certain point, I have to end the stream. But it's like somebody did donate during the stream, but I think that was just a coincidence. I think it was someone unrelated. Can we? Okay. What about Amino? Is anyone on Amino? I should have posted it there too. No, go live. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. At this point, it's just boring to watch. I know at a certain point it gets to that. I like that 4 people have liked this video though. That's promising. Again, no amount is too small. I understand. It's just it goes a long way. I'm sure we're gonna have like a list of donators in the end credits. It's called Wolves, a fan-made Life is Strange 2 story for a reason. It's made by not just me, who's a fan, but by any fan who chooses to donate is supporting the project. And and don't feel too bad. Don't feel too bad, Ailey. I understand if you're broke and you can't donate right now. I just wish there were more than 2 people on this stream. So, okay, at this point we've gone an hour and a half, and I'm happy that I got to talk about the cast. I'm happy that I got to show Jessica's audition. Yeah, thank you, thank you. That means a lot. If you can share it with your friends and family, or any other fans of Life is Strange too, it would mean a lot. Because I Trace Haynes, who was our Finn, did donate some money, and I'm like, I'm very grateful, but you don't need to do that. I don't. I shouldn't have to rely on the cast to provide the money. Like, I'm already not paying them. I can't. But somewhere Trace is like, what? Um. hmm, Okay. Okay. At this point, I should probably call this off. But I I will. Hmm. I was gonna have like a bonus incentive of like showing you special behind the scenes stuff, but I'm probably gonna post a lot of behind the scenes stuff on Instagram anyway. Um, so and yeah, I don't want to keep, because now I know that like Ailey, you're probably the only one watching, except for that one other person that might be Lankin14, or maybe they're gone by now. I don't know, but if to the one other person watching, hi, do you have a wallet? Oh my god, now I'm just begging on the street, like, you want me to beg like we're homeless or something? Like, oh wait, oh wait. I don't even play guitar. But Dad has this over here, and if there's anything that'll get people to give me money, it's me, you've come to take my duality. Awakes by midnight time, I could not see if I were you or you were me. If only Erica was here. I'm putting this away. This is all because I never learned how to play guitar. Okay, so here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to call this off now. Anybody who stumbles upon this archived video, and please, I encourage you to either donate, or if you can't afford to donate, then share the link. Share the link, share the link. I'm going to make a movie regardless. How good of a movie is going to depend on the budget. So thank you. I was kind of hoping for a better outcome, but I guess I just don't know how to get more people to show up, or I don't have the audience that Carson. Okay, so I don't mean to throw Carson under the bus at all. I don't. But when we talked, and he said like he said that like, oh, like I asked him, oh, hey, next time you do a live stream, can you bring up that I'm making the movie and like tell people to support the project? He's like, absolutely, I will 100% do that. And he kind of hasn't done any live streams ever since I announced the movie, and that's not shade on him. That's just I know he's busy with a lot of other projects right now, and I know he's very busy, but I don't want to ask him to do a live stream just for my thing, but does he not need to promote any of his other stuff that he's been? I'm so sorry. I understand. I understand. It would just anything at this point would help me out, and I'm stressed and I'm desperate. And sometimes there have been times in the past couple days when I've got very angry and I've taken it out on people that didn't deserve it. And I'm calm right now, and I'm gonna be calm. I really need this to work. And you know what it is? If this had been under different circumstances, maybe I would have been able to let this movie go, and I would have been like, you know what? I don't need to make it this year. I can wait. I can like do other stuff that like I can be more experienced as a director before I take on making this movie. But I finished writing the script just as the pandemic was starting, and we I was I had to go through some very, very tough times. And the thing I kept saying to myself over and over was, as soon as the pandemic is over, I'm making the movie. And so it became this thing that I latched onto. And so once it became clear that the pandemic was going to end, I was like, okay, we got to do this now. We got I'm committed now. Uh, maybe, maybe by the end of this process, I will be committed into an asylum. Okay, but so that's all for me. I'm gonna wrap up in a minute. And we have some really great incentives. Please, please, please either donate, or if you can't, find reach out to people. Thank you, everybody. I will see you later. Bye. Yeah. It's funny you say that. Try not to stress yourself sick. I try to get my mind when thinking about it gets too much. I try to get my mind off of it by focusing on other stuff. But then I focus on the other stuff too long, and now I'm way behind. And it's a back and forth thing. Anyway, but thank you and goodbye.